Alright, so you're gonna have to try to excuse the poor lighting and maybe some of the audio if the wind from the door being open and the fan being on interferes. But I have some complaints about the I don't know, like people having what seems like plenty of time on their hands to be like calling themselves like productive, hardworking, and like, you know, like having said some pretty imposing things about how they know what's best for me more than I know what's best for me, even when, well, anyway. Here we have a bunch of fruit that's been affected by this little guy, or his species at least. Yeah, you're probably getting some of that wind from on the microphone. This one's dead. He came out from this fruit, one of these, while it was in the fridge after I washed it and put it away. I noticed that they crawl out and they die from the cold. A lot of the stuff a lot of the life here can't tolerate being in refrigerator temperatures. But yeah, basically, I wouldn't mind sharing, I guess, but they crawl in the fruit and they like do that. They make it all mealy and they fill it with droppings, and the entire fruit changes flavor. It tastes horrible with these guys in there. And this is the hole that they leave behind after the adult has affected it. And that's some of the... It basically kills the flavor, ruins the fruit, and I think it ruins the seeds so that the tree can't really get by too well. The birds might like to eat them when they're in larval stage, but they don't do well enough. I try to cut off pieces so that I could try to get to them, maybe salvage some edible fruit, but they're starting to look like this now. Look at that, look at how much. Earlier in the season there wasn't that many, but now there is. I've had like 2 whole fruits combined, all together, I guess, out of all that right there. Yeah, here's the thing. The appropriate thing to do, listen, like I can understand like houseflies and mosquitoes and stuff. Speak of the devil. Because it's the tropics and there's dogs out on the street and you know, hard to kick habits with dealing with garbage and puddles and stuff. Okay, a little bit. But these, literally, you don't even need to use pesticides. Listen, when your tree's infested, you just knock all the fucking fruit off. It's just, excuse me, sorry, I might post this on public. You knock all the fruit off before it becomes a vector for these pests. Because this town, every single tree I've seen is infected with it. And nobody takes the time. Look at the fly. Yeah, and even the stuff with the garbage and stuff. I just today had to tell the neighbor off about throwing trash over the wall. The wall in that direction, my uncle's, he's older. He can't be throwing trash over a double average height wall. I'm almost positive it wasn't him or the neighbor in that direction. I didn't say directly, but I said, hey, if you're looking for a problem, you're gonna find it. I hope they're not. I really hope they're not. But come on, can we get the fucking act together? Because I've been getting harassment like this is fucking TJ all over again, and I will not take it as much as I fucking took it back there. As unreasonable as it might seem, I know it's the most reasonable fucking thing I could do. And nobody better argue against literal best socially responsible reason when it comes to this. Man, sorry, a little better. Yeah, I might post this on public, so this is a little much. Anyway, the compass on this pocket knife doesn't really work as well as I thought it would. Thought I might take... Yeah, that's, No, that's north. Yeah, that's north. So the phone generally works better. It's got an app on it, but yeah, this has been pretty handy with the growth out back, especially the amaranth, keeping it trimmed. The storm made some of them top heavy, and I was using it to hack at some stuff, and I accidentally damaged it, so I had to take it apart and fix it, try to fix it, and it seems to have worked. It works pretty well. I haven't needed to sharpen it when I need to. I have there's a type of steel it is, 7145. Haven't needed to sharpen it, but it was a pretty good purchase, which is it's pretty cool. This seems to be for like some sort of flashlight, which is cool, but I kind of wish it could be like a fire starter or something. I mean, I guess you could make it into a fire starter, but I thought it was like a little cylindrical fire starter kit thing. Anyway, yeah, really annoyed. It's like they weren't that great tasting to begin with, and now I got that to deal with. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those out in the compost pile. I haven't needed to use the trash services despite being here for about 2 months. And I just also told a neighbor off over there for burning trash and filling this house up with plastic garbage smoke is bullshit. I know they don't need to. There's trash services here every week. I don't think they even charge. The trash services in TJ didn't charge. They were on a volunteer basis, pay as you will, supposedly. I'm surprised the government, as much as they like to get involved with things, have their foot in the door to be able to claim money later down the line and credit. Yeah, there's like work to be done on the puddling of water around here. That would be the most effective thing against the mosquitoes, because enough water evaporates to where if you had appropriate draining, it wouldn't be an issue until you get closer to the coast. They hide in the shade, so yeah, but they need standing water to... Anyway, so I need some sort of water feature here to breed dragonflies, and I do think I will need some sort of chickens. A smaller breed would probably overheat less. I think I already mentioned that in the video that I recorded for yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure when. I don't know when, but yeah, for the scorpions and other insects, animals, spiders, whatever, the arthropods, and I don't think there's any snakes and stuff that I need to worry about. The iguanas are cool. The geckos are cool. Yeah, but around the compost pile, I'm gonna need to keep some sort of check system so that stuff doesn't get too far, like it doesn't pile up. But like, I kind of prefer a pile up of like surplus turning into manifesting as a bunch of scorpions than a bunch of scorpions and a bunch of flies, mosquitoes, and these fuckers. I don't know. Like, there's if there's some things we can avoid, like, just. Am I gonna have to go around and literally cut down every fruit off of every tree? Like, you don't need to cut down the whole tree. Just get rid of the fruit and cut off the vector for the season so that those insects don't have any food nearby and their population numbers are controlled a little bit more. It's not that complicated. I'm not even a freaking farmer. Frustrated. Anyway, it seems like the bamboo is photosynthesizing, so it seems to have braved the transplant. I found it near the bridge in Tuxpan. And I also found another near someone's house, actually in someone's house, and I spoke with the woman there, and I asked her if I could come by later and take some with me. She said she doesn't know how, so I would have to do it myself, and I do not mind if I take a shovel and a bucket or something. Maybe a saw. But to use a saw, I would need to have a backup so that I could use one for cutting roots and grit and soil stuff, and the other one keeping clean enough and in sharp enough condition. So right now I can't do that necessarily but I wasn't that prepared. I literally hacked away with a chunk of metal trash that was nearby and a chunk of old bamboo that was laying there to get that piece of rhizome root, and I think they're called culms. I'm not familiar with. I think it's a culm. It shoots out from the rhizome from that one, and I was like dripping sweat and getting risk of tetanus and stuff because I put down all my shopping stuff, like grocery stuff and backpack, and like a block away, 2 blocks away, and I was trying to find the bamboo. I found it, and I was like, I can't not do this right now. Yeah, so I had to I basically took the piece of metal and I did that, and I hammered the piece of the rhizome off from the mother plant, and it's like that big. It's not big, and I know bamboo grows quickly, but I don't think it grows that quickly to where that's gonna suffice to give me firewood soon. So I need to find other sources. The trees here, I know the trees out front, the Jamaican cherry is supposed to be a good firewood source, but right now it's barely past sapling. It's barely producing fruit for the first year, or maybe second year. No, probably first year, because it's been 2 years and they weren't there before. But yeah, basically, fuck those flies, and fuck people who try to use plausible deniability to behave in the same behavior as those flies, like not being dissuaded in being very, very discouraging, just buzzing about. Anonymity is a double-edged sword. It really fucking is. And in some situations, there is only bad ways that it could be used in some situations. And anyway, lovely. I think I'm going to be cutting down all the fruit off the tree soon. I don't want to be a participant in this little plant disease vector thing. It might save a little energy for the tree anyway and help me establish the replacement trunk sooner. So yeah. I'm really missing my red composting worms, but I've also seen some soldier flies nearby. Here, actually, they flew in the house when I forgot to take out the compost for like a day. So yeah, but I prefer the worms. You can actually even keep those indoors. And I didn't get to bring them with me. I didn't get to bring much with me. And as far as I know, let's leave it there. A lot of work to do out back. Most of the weeds seem dead out front. Weeds, the Bermuda grass mainly. The neem tree is coming along well. I actually forgot to post pictures of that. But it seems to be coming along well. You know, I think I'm gonna redistribute the seedlings that came up, and get the seasonal ground cover under control. That way I can afford time and labor wise, not so much financially. I'll see what I can manage financially in order to budget a trip to the biggest city nearby, which is Tepic, and try to get some nursery material and maybe some less common plant material, either along the way or there itself. Stuff that I can't find here. Plant stuff. Once I have the growth, more or less where it needs to be, so that it's not so much, hacking and slashing through the brush that grows, and that if somebody were to have to pick up the slack here, it would be a little more obvious and a little less likely that they'd make it more difficult for me in the long run. Anyway, and that is that. That's that. Uncle over here is back again. I haven't said hi, but I will soon. I think they're settling in from their trip, driving the whole way. A little awkward, a little inconvenienced in that I can't be out there without my clothes on, and I know I don't need to not have clothes on, but it's like 30 degrees almost all day every day, and humid, and it would be fine if I also wasn't dripping sweat when I have to wash the clothes. So I'd rather not do as much laundry and get a little tan, reduce risk of cancer, and not be risking some sort of heat stroke. But I don't know. It really sets the. Oh yeah, because they have a second story and it overlooks, and like, I don't want somebody passing by the window and I'm a problem when I'm jumping through flaming hoops, trying not to be a problem. Yeah. Cover is right? Oh, that's been set back as fuck. That's been set back as fuck. The bricks for the walkway out, plus the water splash is so close to the door. But don't know if you could tell. The rebar is unfinished. It's still like right there, right there. It's unfinished, right there. So I don't know. I'm hoping something can be done. I have ideas. Some of them are same ideas I came up with when I was in TJ. For electricity and water and other things, for the walls, for the perimeter. Oh, and then deterrent to keep the cats out and the chickens out and other animals that I don't want coming in here. But yeah, let's see, what else? I don't have like an outline format for this. I really just wanted to... Holy shit, it's still alive. It's been in the fridge for like 2 days. This shit's still alive. Yeah, so you can imagine my discomfort trying to be like as vegan as I can be, and these little fuckers are showing up in the fucking food, right? But yeah, trying to close up every outline like topic as it comes along. But yeah, for the construction stuff, money needs to be done. So my approach basically is cover the fundamentals so that I have leftover money from the improvised budget of what is supposed to be my grocery money and that sort of thing. And I might, discontinue some services like electricity or water or that sort of thing in order to get other things under more control. I don't have a hand bucket well, several meters. There's like a 10 meter or something sort artisanal well, but there's no pump and electricity to it. I don't have an address, a number address. I don't have my name to this place. I don't have any idea how the water rationing usage or whatever situation is measured. I don't have rainwater collection. I don't have biogas, biodigester, or I don't have, even simple firewood generation. I don't have charcoal or a charcoal stove or kiln. And it's like all those things you would think are so much more intuitively possible and contextually fitting, like where there's a ladybug, there's probably aphids, where that sort of thing. Where you find ant lines in the sand, you're probably gonna find ants. That sort of thing, like it's so weird. It's so weird, and it really does seem like a lot of the stuff that was being done in TJ to harm me in non-physical and physical ways is still here. And if I were to fight back against it, a double standard would be turned on my head and used against me. So I don't get a day off. As much as I could use it to be idle, I think it actually works in whoever it is' favor to have me seem lazy rather than to enable the type of work when I am able to do the type of work that I know how to do, or to even improve my skills and capacity. Which is weird. It's really petty. This is really, really petty, and this is really, really childish. And I'm too old for this shit. I should be much more busy, much more productive, and I shouldn't be working stupidly. I shouldn't be working harder because I can't work smarter. Like, I know better, and I'm not full of myself. I just don't want to waste my life, and I don't want to prop somebody else up who doesn't deserve it. Alright, So that's the last chunk of info that I could come up with to close off right now. Yeah, I was overwhelmed with the growth, basically. So after the rains, I didn't know so many of these plants shot up basically overnight. So I can't be doing my a lot of the plants that I thought I was going to be able to do. Stuff grows so much slower up north. Even with rain, they're so much slower. Alright, that's it.